I'm a big fan of accessible video, making sure that video can be consumed by the most audiences possible. One thing that does this is the use of closed and open captions. This can not only help those with hearing impairments, but can help those learning a new language, or make sure that the video is easy to discover when it's playing back in something like a Facebook timeline on mute. Let me show you two new changes to captioning, and if captioning interests you, make sure you explore the 2015 version of this course where we covered other improvements with captioning. Now, when you're in the timeline, let's just switch to the editing workspace, you can make the caption track bigger. This is going to allow you to see more detail. You'll notice here, for example, that the captions can be adjusted. So now, I can easily make changes. For example, if I click on this individual caption here, I can actually edit it. And so now, I could adjust the timing of that caption. Maybe I want it to come in a little later. I could retime it. I can also adjust the duration for that individual element. This means that if the captions aren't exactly right or hitting in the right place, you can click on them and move them around. You might need to shorten a caption if you don't have a gap between elements, but the ability here to retime and reposition is welcome. In the past, this was always done using the caption panel, and you'd have to go in one by one and adjust the in point and the out point. But now, being able to take a look at your audio waveforms in the sequence or use clip markers or other items can really come in handy when you try to time things out. If you double-click on an individual caption, it will quickly open up the Captions panel where you can edit the text. So if you find that you need to make a tweak here, you can absolutely do that. Besides the ability to adjust the duration of the caption, as well as their start and end times, we now have the ability to improve open captions. Open captions are usually used on the web and become burned into the video. Now we have some additional styles that can be applied. If you have closed captions and you want to convert them to open captions, it's pretty simple. Just reveal the caption in your project and then duplicate it. Let's rename this here. We'll call these open captions. Now, if I right-click on that, I can go to Modify Captions. This allows you to tell it the standard, and you can set this to open captions if you want. Let's go ahead and cut those into the timeline. There we go. And I'll just turn this one off and reposition these here a little bit. There we go. There's my different captions. Now, these can be quickly adjusted. So if I double click on one of these, I can actually come here and you'll notice some options. For example, not only do you have the background color, but you have an edge color and general text controls. So, for example, let's improve this here. We'll make this a little bit bigger. There we go. And I'll adjust its position on the screen. You'll also notice the ability here to adjust an outline color. So for example, you can assign a width to the outline color there and a color. This can give you a contrasting edge, making it easier to read. There's the width of the edge there and the overall size of the font. Notice here that this is very different than the previous caption. So you now have basic formatting capabilities. Let's just reposition this here. This caption track was actually made for smaller resolution. So I'm just going to scale this to fit. There we go. And you see that it's very easy to modify that content. Now, when you go to export the media, you have the ability to include the captions in the export. You'll notice, for example, under Captions, you have the ability to burn the captions into the video. This ensures that the text will become part of the final export. This can be quite useful for both legal compliance to the web and to make social media friendly videos where the sound might be muted on the person's device, or if it's playing in an environment that's noisy, like an airport. Now, the closed captions can become open captions, and the ability to add a contrasting edge makes them that much easier to read.